Hey, Steeler Nation, welcome to the Back Row Steelers Show, your weekly stop for all things Steelers. I'm Rob Sprout. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to go out there, subscribe, rate, review our podcast, please. It helps a lot. It definitely helps us get recognized, pull us up the charts a little bit, and we get out there for more of your wonderful ear holes to hear. So I am on Instagram, Twitter, at Back Row Steelers. You can send us an email. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, send me an email, please. That's backrowsteelers@gmail.com. So today's episode is kind of going to be a little shorter. I don't really have a whole lot of Steelers news. Not really a whole lot's going on. We're kind of waiting for the season to get up and moving, things getting started. I do want to start with a couple notes from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So those of you that are familiar with that, cool. If not, check them out. They only allow you to look at a couple articles at a time for free before they want you to pay for their service, which is understandable of any business. So if you feel like paying for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, go ahead. It's not unreasonable. It's comparable to buying your daily newspaper or whatever. And you can just get electronically rated on whatever sort of media you have, computer, tablet, whatever. It doesn't matter. They were talking about some real quick things. Tickets are on sale. They're on sale now. They are limited to about 50% of total tickets right now due to the whole corona situation and social distancing. So it'd be a smart move to go ahead and get your tickets now if you want them. They are offering refunds if games are canceled or shifted or whatever. So that they have like a whole little note and disclosure thing on there. I went on two of the different websites. I went to Ticketmaster and Vivid Seats. You can go there, and they have, like I said, they have a little disclosure thing about the tickets. So if you want to buy some, go for it. You can get your money back if you cannot attend due to them shifting the schedule. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole ticket thing. Oh, season ticket holders can email if you have questions, comments, concerns about your season tickets. Go ahead and email that. You can email the Steelers directly. It's STH, as in season ticket holder. So STH@Steelers.com. So with any questions, comments, concerns about that. Real quick, we talked about Big Ben coming back in his video and throwing the football and everything. Governor Wolf, Pennsylvania's state governor, not very happy with Big Ben getting his hair cut. He says, I haven't opened barbershops yet, and you're out there getting your hair cut in a barbershop. Well, Ben and this barber happen to be friends. The barber cut his hair, trimmed his beard and everything as a favor. Didn't charge him for it, just kind of opened up. I think the governor's just reacting to somebody being on social media, basically, in a barbershop, and the whole state can't go get haircuts. So he's like, I don't know why you would do that. I wouldn't do that. Personally, I feel like if I need my hair cut, I'm going to figure out how to get it cut. Needless to say, Ben got his hair cut. The governor's pissed. Oh well, they'll get over it. Let's see here. We talked about the whole James Conner contract thing. I've been giving it a little more thought and just about what could happen in Pittsburgh, what we're looking at as far as what could possibly happen with James Conner and the running back situation. They do have a pretty full running back room. I think there's a very real possibility for a running back by committee thing to happen this year. Pittsburgh notoriously has been like a three-down back sort of place, right? We want a back that can do it all. And I think in the interest of keeping James Conner healthy, it'd be super smart for the coaching staff there and the team to use a committee-type option for their running backs. Now, for those of you that play fantasy football, you don't want to hear that. I know everybody wants that three-down back. Pittsburgh has usually been the team, one of the few teams that give that to you in the three-down back. It's probably not going to happen much anymore. If I'm thinking the way Pittsburgh's thinking, and I feel like it's going to happen in the interest of keeping James Conner healthy, you're looking at running back by committee, which means basically you're going to see James Conner out there for probably first and second down, and then maybe a pass catching back in your Anthony McFarland coming out there and possibly just doing that sort of job as the third down back. So that's going to help keep James Conner a little more healthy. It's going to allow him to be able to be on the team for a little bit longer. Now, what that could mean is they could franchise him for the next year. So they put a franchise tag on him. He gets paid kind of like some big bucks, right? But the thing about these big bucks is it's only for that year. And after that, he'll be a free agent. So you can't really count on like a whole lot of things happening with free agency. And I think James Conner would be smart to maybe say, you know what, like I will take a reasonable contract. Maybe not like one of the top contracts in the nation, but I think if he's out there and he's the first and second down back, and you have the 1-2 punch with the either him or Benny Snell, who's perfectly capable of running through the line too, and Anthony McFarland out there, you should see James Conner looking for like a reasonable contract, like I said. So I think a lot of that is going to be totally contingent on him being healthy. If the guy's not healthy, Pittsburgh's likely just to let him walk. Figure out the free agency thing, and you're going to see James Conner playing for another team in Pittsburgh, potentially drafting like a top-tier running back in the 2021 draft. One of the biggest things that could help James Conner out is David DeCastro and friends there on the O-line helping out and getting the blocking done this year. That last year was kind of atrocious. I watched some of the blocking schemes. Well, I went back, watched some of the games, and even while I was watching them like live, I was like, what are they doing? They're not blocking the way they used to block. I don't understand what happened. And maybe that was an offensive coordinator shift. Maybe that was because they had a new O-line coach. I don't know. It's just all kind of strange, and the blocking schemes didn't make sense. There weren't really very many holes for the running backs to run through. So hopefully they can get all that figured out. David DeCastro, like I said, he's going to run the line. If anybody can pull that thing together, it's him. And he's going to be able to get the job done there, hopefully this year, for James Conner and friends, and get a good running game going again. Well, like I said, it's not a lot of news going on. Not a lot in the media, other than Ben getting his haircut, and that's really about it. Me thinking about James Conner some more. I am kind of worried about this offense, but I think we're going to be okay. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to do it. Nice, short, sweet episode. Keep it quick. I do like to keep pumping them out weekly, even if it is going to be just a few-minute podcast, just to get you guys keeping in tune with the team, keeping in tune with what's going on in the offseason here. As we get into all the players getting able to practice together with inside the facilities, get all the news about the rookies, get everything going on with preseason, and then into the actual season. These episodes are going to get way more detailed and a lot more information being put out there for you. So thank you for listening. I appreciate the continuing support for this podcast. We're doing pretty good on the downloads. I'm super happy. It's gratifying to me. I'm happy that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself, which I kind of am. I'm just in a room with me. But I get to get my voice out there, talk to all of you that want to listen. It's fantastic. I'm happy I get to do this. If you're interested in another podcast, fantasy football related, so if you guys are fantasy football players, check out another podcast that I co-host with Bob Miller. He's of the Back Row Ravens show. I know I'm doing a podcast with a Ravens fan. I'm sorry, Steelers fans, but we actually make a pretty good team on this other podcast. So it's called the PPR Podcast. You can check us out. It's on most platforms again, like Apple, Podbean, Stitcher. It's out there. It's all over the place. So if you want to check that out, I would greatly appreciate that. You can go on there, subscribe, rate, and review for them as well. We have guests on. We talked. We talked about I had the collaboration episode on episode 5 on here. That was the PPR podcast. Essentially, we went and did this podcast together, and we've been doing them since. We're doing weekly with guests and everything coming on. This week we're going to do our top 10 bold takes. So I'm going to have 10 bold takes for the fantasy football season. Bob's going to have 10 bold takes for the fantasy football season, and we're going to roll them out. At the end of the year, we're going to see who was a big, bold bust and who was a big, bold, accurate predictor, I guess. I don't know what the opposite of bust would be, but that's what we're going with. So another show to check out. Now we are a part of the Back Row family of podcasts. Go check out the Back Row Fantasy Show. These guys are what got me into doing this whole thing. They're probably my favorite fantasy podcast out there. I've been listening to them basically since the beginning. So it's called the Back Row Fantasy Show. That's with Jeremy Barker, Aaron Arms, and Brian Hucks. These guys know what they're talking about. They're finally getting in a groove where they get back together in their studio. Jeremy Barker's fantastic. He helped me set up a whole bunch of the tech stuff and everything, and the dude's awesome. So great people. Again, it's the Back Row Fantasy Show. Check them out. And I think that's going to be about it. Steeler Nation, thanks a lot for listening, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening. See you next time on the Back Row Steelers Show.